Hello and welcome to the After Hours podcast. Number 9, technically. Number 9. Number
9.
You don't know.
9.
No, 9. No, that's probably why I picked it. Because it's our 9th one. And this week, we've decided to do something different. We're going to talk all about Critical Role.
Hi.
Say hi, Ollie.
Hi, it's Ollie. How's it going? It's late and I'm on coffee.
What do you want them to say? Hi back?
Hi, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, say hi back.
Hi. So with the 9th podcast, we've mainly a channel. The majority of people come to watch Critical Role reviews.
Yes.
It's we love everyone that watches all the other content, but Critical Role is typically the go-to thing because that's how we kind of started the channel. It's just talking about Critical Role all the time. And so this week we decide, and we get a lot of comments. You're really helping me here.
You looked like you had it sussed, man. You looked like you were nailing it.
I'm just waiting for your input.
So we get a lot of stuff, conversations with people in the comment sections of our videos of things about Critical Role, because that's kind of the glue that holds us as a community together.
Yes, and I'm drinking milk because my voice hurts from yelling at all.
Yeah, we just recorded a couple of videos, so like
the voice. But so what we're going to do this week is we've got a whole bunch of long comments and also theories that people have posted, and if you guys like this kind of thing, we'll do it on a more regular basis, doing regular kind of theory of Critical Roles, and we don't have a Critical Role next week as well, so we decided to just take a different tack. Yeah,
so we put together a whole list of comments that were too long to read on any of the other videos, and theories that you guys had about Mighty Nine and Critical Role, Vox Machina, and all that kind of stuff.
Now, before we go through this, it's worth noting that Ollie picked these.
I think it's not known. We don't need to know.
No, we can know that Ollie picked this.
Because he may have picked some of the ones that were
not
right
even from Critical Role.
Well, I'd forgotten that it was a Critical Role thing.
What do you mean?
Because you said, but
I literally said we're going to do a Critical Role
thing,
so you comments that were part of
You also said, but we should do the long comments. I didn't know you realised I mean comments about Critical Role. I thought you just meant long comments. So you
thought I meant Critical Role comments and long comments.
That's what I thought it was. But I'm stupid. I'm very stupid, Dave. My IQ is only like, what, 3?
Okay. Under that theory, though, that you meant I meant long comments, how come it's only from one kind of video that you pick these other long comments from?
I choose not to answer.
I think you just messed up and making excuses now.
No.
Because the 2 long comments you have put are from D&D animated ones.
Yeah.
Not from
because I was just looking at the list of all the comments, because it's just on Creative Studio, and I just like selected the long ones.
Holly.
I mean,
you messed up. Let me just have it.
Link down the channel. Yeah, sure. I fucked up. But
yeah, we all fuck up, and it's all fun to rip into someone because then it doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah, no, I mean,
I wouldn't rip into you if I was genuinely mad at you about something.
No, you would passively aggressively make comments, and I would do the exact same. That is our dynamic.
Yeah,
We've said it many times.
That's how we work.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do first, we'll go through the long comments. Some of the long comments we've had. It doesn't say in here what video they're from, so I do apologise that. I'm not quite sure what video they're from.
So the first one from Mr. ElectricFish is from our review of, I think it was Critical Role 2, episode 23.
Episode 23. So about 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago.
Hey.
So this is long.
Do you want me to read it?
Well, how would we do a paragraph each?
This is how we used to do it at primary school.
Okay, do you want one person to read out the entire
No,
thing?
I thought what we could do is I read out the first paragraph and you read out the second one, and then I'll read
Which is exactly what I said, that we'll read out paragraph to paragraph, and then you made fun of me for that, and then you suggested the exact same solution.
That was the joke that I was making.
Oh, I was waiting for it to be funny.
You know my comedy by now. That's not too many comedians.
I know your comedy by now. It's so not funny.
Comedy. It's like it's tired. It's old. I'm trying something new. Unfunny comedy. It's like Kathy Griffin.
Then isn't that just not comedy? It's just statements.
It's going to be a lot of long silences.
It's going to be a long one. Okay.
I'd like to point out that it's nearly midnight. We both have to get up early and go to work. You have to get up like 2 hours earlier than I do. But still, we have to get up early and go to work, so we should just do this.
I get up at 6.
I get up at 8:30.
To do my other other job.
Yeah.
And then I got a job interview at 10:30. Then I start work at 12. Then I work until 9 and come back. And from the looks of it, I'm going to be up until about 2 a.m. tomorrow. So that's going to be fun.
You can borrow some of my coffee.
No, I don't want your coffee because that means I'll never sleep at night.
I gave up sleeping. I find it gets in the way of doing things.
Yeah. Alright, so, Mr. ElectricFish, this is your comment. Ollie, you can start.
Can I just ask, is the electric fish an electric eel?
That wasn't part of his comment.
It was the only fish that I could think of that was electric. Except for the lanternfish. Maybe it's the lanternfish.
Mr. ElectricFish Kid.
1 week ago, but that was when the comment was posted when I saw it. Anyway, oh my. This one, it's a bigger than usual comment for me.
So, not the best grammar there to start with, but basically what he's trying to say is that this is going to be a long comment.
Yes, generally when people do a long one, they kind of preface it with, this is going to be long.
Next bit says, here's the thing about Keyleth. I hope he does not enter a relationship. Dude, have enough baggage to deal with. I think that it means that dude has enough baggage to deal with.
I think possibly English is not his first language.
Well, maybe just bad at typing.
The grammar is not.
Right, don't say he's foreign just because he's bad at English. English people are bad at English. It's just the way of the world.
Me fail English? That's impossible.
Yeah. Anyway, continues, before I was rudely interrupted. I think it's pretty nice to see Sam playing a character... Ollie, sorry. I didn't interrupt you during yours.
It's because mine was
and you should give respect to the comment.
Sorry, you go.
We can rip into it after, once we've done it. Right? Anyway, dude have enough baggage to deal with. I think it's pretty nice to see Sam playing a character that runs away from everything about Scalan except for being small. That one needs a bit of translating. That runs away from everything about Scalan. I think it means like everything a bit. It's so different from Scalan, except for the small bit. Yeah. So yeah, that makes sense then. He's not flirty. He's not sarcastic. He is still funny. I want to see Liam doing that. Run away from Vax. So it's kind of saying that Caleb and Vax they have some similarities there, being very kind of, you could say, depressed characters.
Well, I mean, this is largely why pretty much everyone agrees that Marisha chose a character like Bo because she wanted to be so different from
the polar opposite. Yeah.
Whilst not really thinking about the fact that we fell in love with Keyleth because she was personable, awkward, and relatable.
But you also have to take into account that one thing that draws these characters to play the game is so this gives them an avenue to really battle some demons. And Liam's one of the players that has actively said he's battled during the course of Critical Role. He's battled some really dark stuff. Yeah. And these characters are helping him process it. It helps him get over it. And I know from an actor point of view, from a character point of view, you don't want to see the same thing over and over again. From speaking like a viewer. Yeah. But you also take into account that he needs it. Yeah. It seems like he's doing it for his own kind of therapy.
There's not a lot of solid research on this yet, but there's a lot of people that are getting into the ideas that not only can it help with like social engagement, people that aren't good in social situations, and kind of teaching them how to be a person and those kind of scenarios, allowing them a bit of a safe space in which to do that. But you're right, it also has ramifications for people that are battling with mental illness, depression, schizophrenia, all this kind of stuff. It's actually why I'm thinking about, for the Pear Tree, the group that I volunteer with, getting a D&D game going.
Explain what the Pear Tree is, because I mean you're just throwing that out there.
So the Pear Tree is a group that we created a year or two ago after a bunch of us did a course on peer support, and it's founded on the idea of helping people with young people with mental illness. And we do this with coffee groups, and we take them to the SPCA to play with puppies and go to the Botanical Gardens and all this kind of stuff. And I've talked to a couple of people there about Dungeons and Dragons because we kind of just chat. And yeah, I'd love to get a game going because, like you say, if you're dealing with something heavy and serious, it's a lot easier, I think, to bring that up in a character fantasy setting than it is to say to someone, "Look, I'm dealing with something dark."
Yeah, and that's a common thing of people use in their real life. Things like, I mean, we did Eyes of Alicia. There were a few characters in there that were playing different gender characters because they were processing things in their real life. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes you just need to be able to have that freedom of saying, if I was in a free world, I could do anything I can. Yeah. What would I do? And people need that.
And it's actually a wonderful thing about Dungeons and Dragons. A couple of years ago, it was Christmas. I was down in Christchurch with my nephews. My nephews were young, like 8, 9 at the time, and they were full of sugar and they're misbehaving because it was Christmas, and it's just like.
I think you've told the story before on the podcast.
I don't think I've told it on the podcast. Oh. I've told you this story, but I'm telling the 3 people. So essentially, they were misbehaving. They were running around, and I sat down. I dungeon mastered a game for them for 10 minutes, and they were perfectly behaved the rest of the evening. And I can actually really easily see what kind of frame of mind my nephews are in when they play Dungeons and Dragons. Because if they're like, okay, I go up to the guard and I punch him in the face, let's fight him, I know that they're going through something. and it's just one wonderful thing about the
Story
game.
of my life. I always want to imaginary punch somebody.
Anyway, next paragraph.
Yeah.
I never liked the Vax Keyleth thing, which I find interesting because that was one of my favourite things about Vox Machina. I don't know how their relationship was before Critical Role became a thing, but it always felt to me that Liam was pretty sure Vax was a protagonist and he needed to have a love interest, and Marisha just kind of played along with it.
It was definitely a consensual relationship.
Yeah.
I mean, if it wasn't, that would be really awkward.
Yeah.
And very in the wrong direction. But, I mean, they had this... I mean, obviously, as we all know, Marisha and Matt are married now, and they were engaged at the time. I don't think they actually were engaged. I think they got engaged during the course of Critical Role.
Well, I certainly found out about it towards the end of it.
Yeah. But I do know they're very good friends.
Yeah.
And I know they were all friends before the game, and I think they were that close that made it okay. If you watch the first, I can't remember what episode it's in, but the first Keyleth and Caleb kind of romantic moment and the rest of the team kind of laughing at them.
Yeah.
Because they hadn't reached that point of realizing how serious they should take the role playing.
Yeah.
And you could still see it kind of them, but
yeah.
They were trying to have a serious romantic moment and everyone else was cracking up.
Well, I think
I think it evolved organically to me anyway.
Yeah. I don't think the players at that point in the live stream had realised how invested the critters were in the stories and the characters.
Yeah.
I think and it became apparent to them that, oh wow, we actually have thousands of people really invested in this story during the course of the story.
Yeah. So I don't know. I never felt it was forced.
No,
I didn't feel forced to me.
To me, it was one of my favourite things about Vox Machina because. Especially towards the end when, spoilers, bad shit was happening. And they're both facing their own mortality.
Say so. This is just a discussion episode, so we can talk about it.
Yeah. So when Vax was getting ready to give himself back to the Raven Queen, he knew it was coming to an end.
Yeah.
Some of the speeches and some of the things he told Keyleth were like easy top 5 for me in the entire campaign of Vox Machina. Just those scenes.
And I'm glad it happened that way.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people say, oh, Vex died, it's such sad. But to be honest, we would never had those moments.
Yeah. And that was kind of where his story always had to go.
Yeah. And you could even see, like, Sam in real life was upset about it. And I think Matthew Colwell makes an amazing episode about the realization during the game of what happens to Sam Regal.
When he had to use the wish spell.
Yeah, had to use the wish. He had to use the. Didn't use the wish because he wanted to use the wish at the end. He wanted to save it. He had to use counterspell.
Right, he had to use that spell slot that he was saving for wish.
To wish, and the emotional impact that it's extended beyond just the game and the story.
That for me is the biggest moment of Vox Machina.
Yeah, and the fact that Matt, because Sam and Liam in real life, they're like bros. They're like, they're so close. And they'll do anything for each other. And at the end of the day, there is a good clip out there of them doing the podcast.
Yeah.
It's that podcast they joke about they release once a year.
Bruise and something or other.
Yeah, something like that. But they mentioned the first ever game of what we now know as Critical Role, but at the time it was just Dungeons & Dragons introducing it. And you see how close they are at that point.
Can someone, if you're listening to this, can someone remind me what that podcast was called? Because
I can easily find it if you Google it right now. You probably can find it.
I don't want to lose the comments.
The question, well, you mean it's just in Gmail? You can easily bring it up because it's in 2 different windows.
Okay, all right.
Do you know how phones work?
Yes.
Anyway, it's now my turn. Let me read this out while you do that.
Okay.
Stop whacking the board, the table.
I was like, what board?
Anyway, so the next comment, we are still reading out that comment by ElectricFish Kid.
See, I told you it would be enough content.
Anyway. Next paragraph goes, Vex and Percy was pretty organic and funny, but Vex/Kiki were so weird their romantic interactions during the game felt a lot like those couples whose relationship is worn out and they don't know why they are together anymore. I think at the point they were both awkward and they didn't know how to handle it. Yeah. I mean, you see that now in Bo and Caleb, and I think that's kind of flown over. But the reason why they were drawn together is because of how awkward. Because sometimes awkward work. Weird work.
It's like if you read the first Vox Machina Origins, where Vax meets Keyleth.
Yeah, and you see Keyleth's kind of like weird interactions of how she just normally talks to people and introducing. She's awkward and she's.
And then Vax is all in his head because she said something about how he's nice, and he's like questioning. She said, "I was nice. I'm nice. How am I nice?"
Like the way I described it, like My Perfect Woman is like the right kind of weird.
Right.
All I'm looking for is the right kind of weird, and sometimes weird and weird work.
Yeah.
It just hasn't yet. Anyway, you all got the next paragraph.
Okay, that's probably because Keyleth had no reason to be with Vax, other than Vax said he loves me, must love back, question mark, I guess. I mean, he's cool and edgy. Gosh, I think he's going to kill himself if I don't date him. Shit. No, I think you're wrong there. I think that...
You're kind of painting Keyleth up to be like someone like abused in a relationship that's worried about leaving their partner.
I thought it was more like you're painting her to be like the popular girl who's getting hit on by the guy from the Weedest song. And
which Weedest song?
The one about the Iron Maiden concert.
Teenage Dirtbag. Tickets to Teenage Dirtbag.
It's not. Vex and Keyleth is not the story of Teenage Dirtbag. It's the story of Love Song by The Cure.
And also, you kind of decredit. I mean, we love your comment, and that's why we're kind of putting it apart because it's a cool discussion point. So don't get us wrong. Hopefully,
yeah.
But you say you kind of make Keyleth out to have no choice in the matter,
or at least like she did not feel the same.
Yeah. If Keyleth didn't want to be with Vex, she wouldn't have been. No. Because by then she was a leader.
Yeah,
and she
would have been able to say that.
She had enough confidence to not want to. If she didn't want to be with Vax, she wouldn't be with Vax.
The whole point of her journey was getting her to a point where she'd be able to say those things.
Yeah, yeah. And the last paragraph of this beautiful comment was, I'm pretty sure that the new forced couple would be Yasha and Bo, and the organic one would be Caleb and Molly. Jester and Ford reminds me of Scalan, Jester, and Pike.
Well, see, Caleb, I actually find in Mighty Nine the least likely to be in a relationship. It seems like
I'm feeling the Caleb and Bo though.
I don't know. I feel like Caleb is a lone wolf, and he's gonna remain there. He does not, I don't think, want in any level.
I think that's the character arc though. So like at this current time as a character, he can't handle a relationship, but doesn't necessarily mean he can't eventually be able to handle a relationship. I don't think it's even that he can't. So do you think he'll never be able to evolve as a character to be able to handle a relationship?
No, I think that he, on any level other than looking after Not, does not need a romantic.
I'm not saying he needs
story.
one. Well, the question is, would he be capable of having one? So whether you need one or not is irrelevant. You never need a relationship to function as a human being. Because ultimately you need to be able to be comfortable with yourself. And if you need somebody to be in your life to point you in the right direction, you've got a lot more fucking problems than just that.
I just feel it's not necessarily like he's not capable of love or he's not capable of a relationship. I just honestly feel he's not the type of person who would on any level want to be with someone. I feel like he's a lone wolf.
Well, remember he was in a relationship, and that person died.
Go too well. Yeah, so maybe that means. But
it doesn't mean so that proves that he is capable of feeling that way and actually having that commitment.
When he was the person that he was back then, but after what he went through with his parents and the fires and stuff, I think that he knows somewhere that he is the one that's going to have to save him. There's no one else that's going to come. No,
I'm not saying that he needs a relationship to save him. That's not what I'm saying at all. Because I don't believe that is the case for anyone. I don't think a relationship can ultimately define who you are. I think you need to find that from the inside. What I'm saying is that I think he can become a non-lone wolf. I think he can fall in love. I think he is capable of falling in love.
Okay, I'll say that it's possible. Because, character arc evolving.
Broken people can be happy too,
I honestly think he'd be happier by himself. And I just think that he's the least likely of Vox Machina, of the Mighty Nine to fall in love. I think that he's literally the last person that would out of that party.
I disagree.
That
was the last bit.
That was the last bit.
Yeah, but I do disagree with that, but that's the whole point of this. Because I don't
think Molly, definitely.
Caleb and Molly.
No, I think Molly is likely to fall in love and have a love interest at some point.
I don't know, Molly doesn't seem like the person to me that settles down.
No, I wouldn't say settle down, but I think partner in crime, in his kind of view, would be beneficial. Yeah.
I think the Jester and Ford thing. Now that's my forced relationship.
You don't like that at all.
I don't know if I like it.
Yeah.
I think I don't like it because it feels forced.
Right.
And it feels like they're definitely pushing it. It's like saying these two are a couple. They're not a couple yet, but they're going to be a couple.
Yeah.
Look at them, they're a couple. Now they're a couple.
It's like the kids in the schoolyard pushing the two people towards each other.
Yeah, and it's the two people like yelling out to everyone, "Hey, we're a couple." It's like, God, yeah, okay.
I think
it's like, let's say they're in a relationship and it's their birthday, and for an entire week they post every day about how much things have been done for them.
Look, I like sharing my life with my friends, and I have my friends on my Facebook page.
But a whole week, Ollie! A whole week!
Well, that wasn't even my idea. That was Julia's idea.
I know, but you don't need to tell everyone about it.
Well, no, see, I feel like I just want to show people that and share my moments with my friends.
I don't know. Don't.
I post those things for her.
I'm not even a birthday person. I mean, I don't like my birthday, so I just like.
I'm excited that you get to come to mine.
I try to make it.
Get to
I'm
meet some
telling
of my
you,
friends.
I try and make it because I do have. You know how much I got on. So.
That's true. It's true. But hey, the restaurant that we're going to does really good spicy beef.
I won't make it for the meal.
Okay.
There's no way I'll make it.
I'll save you some.
I know because I finish work at 9:30.
Just send a message and say check we're still there because we might go.
I know. Well, that's what your missus said.
Cool.
Is you got to move to some bar or something, and she'll keep you up, and that's the only reason I can come out. So.
Probably not a bar, but we'll find somewhere to go.
Well, somewhere with alcohol.
Yeah. Well, not for me, but yeah.
Well, not for you, but for me. I'm thinking about me here. You've made NPCs all about you. I'm going to make your birthday all about me getting drunk.
Okay, sure. You can get drunk at my birthday.
All right. Well, so thanks again, Mr.
See, that was 20 minutes on a single question.
Yeah.
I told you this was
thanks to Mr. ElectricFish.
Yeah. I'm still thinking it's electric eel or possibly the lanternfish.
It's electric eel because of the song, probably.
Right.
So we're going to go to a next one.
Yes.
This one doesn't really have a lot of paragraphs in it. But...
Is this Chaos?
This is Chaos.
Chaos
Noir. So we'll get right into it. Because I'm feeling like, we are dragging this out. Anyway, Chaos Noir says, I definitely agree that the Tiamat... Oh, do you know what episode this was from?
Yes, 2 weeks ago, so 23.
23, so episode 23. I think this is probably when they're in the caves, right? When we were talking about Tiamat?
That's With
the merman.
Yes.
Okay.
Because we were theorising about the religious symbols and...
about the in-game, really.
Yeah.
Which we think Tiamat's going to be a big deal in.
Yes.
So Chaos Noir says, I definitely agree that Tiamat seems like she. Is it a she? Is Tiamat a she?
I haven't fact-checked that, but it's possible.
Anyway, apparently Tiamat's a she. Not that gods can't be she's, I'd never really thought about
Tiamat as a gender.
No, as a gender, basically, in general. It's like, she will play a big role this campaign, and after rewatching the first one, I can't help but feel like it's sort of due to the fallout of the Tal'Dorei campaign. Spoilers if you haven't finished the campaign, if you were listening to this and you haven't... Well, it's weird. Spoilers for the first campaign. We see the fall of multiple chromatic dragons in the defeat of all the Chroma Conclave, and we see Archaean. Was it Archaean?
Arkan.
I always get it wrong.
Archaean was Jesse's character in our game.
Yeah, in our game. I keep on doing that because it's spelled exactly the same. Anyway, a devout follower of Tiamat. Steal the hand of Vector. So yeah,
that was cool.
That was cool. Right at the end, and it was a cool kind of little cliffhanger.
Yeah.
I can't help but feel like this is Tiamat pushing back from the deaths of so many chromatic dragons at the hands of Vox Machina and Vecna. We also don't know if the destruction of Draconia led to the lapse of Tiamat. No, keep in mind Draconia is like south of Wildmont as well. Mm-hmm. So we could actually experience it.
Yeah.
Going to Draconia.
It's nearby. Yeah.
The destruction of Draconia led to the lapse of Tiamat worshippers as well, which would be ironic, but not outside their chromatic selfish nature.
In spoilers, and then I get to read my paragraph. Also, guys, no MVP. I feel like we missed last week too.
We brought it back.
We didn't. We did bring it back eventually.
But yeah, Tiamat, we believe it's going to be a big one. I mean, the gods is a huge factor this campaign so far.
Yeah.
And it's not like a huge factor as in pushed by the players. It seems like a huge factor pushed by Matt.
Well, it's a reoccurring thing that's been showing up a lot, and there's been people on Reddit that have been trying to figure out other things that have been showing up a lot. For example, in the last episode of episode 25, when they got kidnapped, the manacles that were used people have been hanging on every word describing those manacles to see if they're the same ones that had the runic symbols that the gentleman had been using to kidnap people.
Matt made a good point of describing the guy, the leader.
Yeah.
Like the bald tattooed dude. I can't remember his name.
Lorenzo.
Lorenzo, yeah.
Yeah.
No, he didn't describe him as a Goliath. So he's not got Goliath-esque tattoos. No. He's just a bald man with tattoos.
Human, yeah.
So tattoos typically is a religious kind of thing as well.
Well, that's what led people to think it was Molly's old crew from the circus, because the tattoos.
Possibly.
Yeah.
It's very surprising. I don't think they deliberately hunted them. I think it was just a case of we just found some wandering.
That'll be worth some money because they've got items and stuff.
Yeah.
But see, the question is, like, why didn't they try and grab the rest of the party members?
We didn't know, because they walked away.
Right.
Because Ford makes a point of going, let's take a walk.
Yeah.
After waking up Jester.
Right.
And then they go for a walk, and then that's when they get captured.
I do find the theory that it's the gentleman's goons being like, hey, we've got some people with powerful stuff, let's hand them into the gentleman, and then them doing that, and the gentleman being like, these guys are working
They'll
with
be
me.
extremely anticlimactic.
I know, but it'll be fucking funny.
I don't know. I think it'll be lazy. It feels lazy, though. It feels like Matt was just like, okay, I need a reason to get them out but not put them in danger. Let's just accidentally get them captured.
Don't worry, because literally the success rate of the crazy Reddit theory so far has been 0%.
Oh, yeah. I have no doubt of it. That's why it's called the crazy Reddit theory of the week.
I really do enjoy doing that as well.
Yeah, it was something accidentally happened, I think.
But I'm not going to have any shortage of it any week.
No,
every week someone's just like, oh, it's Pumat Soul.
But I actually, it does grind me how you don't give them credit of who does it.
Oh yeah, I should write that down.
You should really give them credit. It's
just because in the thing I just...
I know. You don't think too much of it until after, but we're kind of milking off other people's kind of ideas.
I should probably go. Oh, I wanted to point out, Knowledge Over Swag is still doing his weekly updates.
I know that's why we keep it posted on our channel. Do you notice I do that? No.
I hadn't noticed that, but it's amazing.
Do you know some of the edits I do? I put in things I know you won't watch the episode, and that's why I put in things. It's like I know Ollie won't actually pick up on this, so I can get away with doing this. You're like, what have you done?
I watch the bit every week because, and then I usually turn off.
Yeah, but after there's some.
Well, after that, I'm like, I know what happens because I was there.
Yeah, it's kind of like. One of the ones of I'll post up a link of the crazy Reddit of who did it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you better do it. It's like, and then it comes up, Ollie didn't do it.
Yeah. Because like from
you never write
from
things
me
down.
No, exactly. And from me being here saying yes, I'll absolutely do that, and then 10 minutes later when I'm at home, that's enough.
That's why I like the recordings now.
Because
I can remember that. Because we have to do the NPCs at Tal'Dorei.
Yeah.
And you go, I thought it was only one shot.
Yeah.
And then you're so insistent of saying, I'm pretty sure I remember. You barely remember what happened last week. And then you come to me saying, no, you're wrong, Dave.
No, see, the weird thing is I remember complete bullshit. Like, I can remember, and I was told this when I was 12. In Cleveland, Ohio, it's illegal to get married wearing a bathing suit. That has stuck with me for 17 years, something ridiculous like that. But if you ask me what comes after hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, I'm like...
You don't know. but it was so annoying because I was just like, alright, we're filming this. It's like...
Yeah, but to be fair, you never actually managed to prove that, so I could still be right.
Well, I did prove it. I said we released an episode during a Critical Role break.
Therefore, it has not been proven.
What do you mean you didn't see it? It's literally on our channel.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't watch it, so therefore, it's not been proven. You guys can't...
I'm sorry, it only exists if you see it. It doesn't work
you guys
that
can't
way.
enjoy the exasperated expression that Dave's face just contorted
You're
into.
the reason I'm bald. You know that? You're the reason why I...
The great thing is, that was before you met me, but I still believe
it's like
it's
my
true.
pre-fell ourselves expecting this.
The stress I caused you was so intense, it reverberated through the space-time continuum.
Anyway, we've got more stuff to do.
Right. So, Callista.
Yes.
Callista
Flores. Now, this is a long one. So,
Yeah.
I'll read the second paragraph where it stopped. Also? So, that's the second paragraph.
Wait, where is it also?
It's right at the bottom.
Oh, yeah, okay, cool.
Alright.
So, this is 3 weeks ago. So, this is from episode 21.
21? We just did
we
25.
Yeah.
So,
and I got this today. So, yeah. 22. Just a small FYI. Matt referred to the fish people as Meros. We both missed that, but a few people kind of reminded us.
We're bad at things.
It's 4 hours and we do it every week. I mean, we're getting
It's no excuse, but we're using it.
Because some of this stuff is literally one sentence in 4 hours.
And it's like, sometimes it's a brief comment as well.
Yeah.
Of like...
I'm probably writing down like something important. Like
and I think the reason why we both do it is because we focus on we take away from the episodes different things.
Yeah. And also, I'm on Reddit on one screen, like going through the theories.
And I'm on like the Critical Role wiki as well.
Yeah.
And I'm also, I mean, when you listen to a podcast like Critical Role, you typically do other things while you do it.
I sometimes play poker online while I'm
what do I normally do? I like sometimes do washing.
Yeah.
I do little house chores in there, and I have on my little piece of paper and write them down.
Yeah.
I think people are really good about correcting us.
Yeah.
But some people like say your episode's crap because you always miss things. It's like, how about you just help us get better instead of bashing us? We have feelings too.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I don't. But
you are a machine.
I am a feeling.
But you're a well-built machine. It mimics human behaviour very convincingly.
Are you hitting on me?
But your understanding of motives is not quite all there. I would get the software update.
Anyways, go.
I fall more into I fall more on more into Caleb's camp than Bo's, but I do get her reaction. I didn't get the impression that Caleb was trying to speak for the whole group so much as he was trying to impress how dangerous the bowl could be. Agree. Since as far as we know...
We should put in some context of those that don't remember. This is referring to the argument that Bo and Caleb had when...
Caleb essentially said, this is how we're going to deal with the bowl.
Yeah, they wanted to give the bowl back to, Kelly?
Yeah, Kelly.
Kelly,
yeah.
The guest player.
Yeah.
Callista, I think. Well, no, that's the person who commented.
Kelly.
But Caleb's didn't want to, and Bo confronted it, and they just didn't... They both came off not very well.
Yeah, so Caleb was seen as trying to... lead the group without asking questions, and Bo was seen as stepping on Caleb's toes, and she shouldn't have snatched the bowl, and there was a whole massive conversation.
So I just want to put context in as we go, because we didn't mention that.
Well, I feel like Bo was justified in not agreeing with his approach, which I'm with you on that. That's totally understandable. I feel like she keeps making really bad missteps with handling Caleb, whether it be here bringing up his PSD in front of the whole group. That's not a cool thing to do. Or when he told her his background and she implied that it wasn't his fault. She's not wrong, exactly, but it feels like she keeps hitting exactly the wrong notes at the wrong time with Caleb, and it's going to come back and bite them if she's not careful.
Well, we've seen that evolve over the past couple of episodes since that comment, though. We see Caleb and Bo is kind of getting closer, and because they had the apology right after.
Yeah.
And this would have been after this comment.
So it actually was like a positive kind of thing.
It ended up. Yeah. But that's what grinds me sometimes, is when stuff like this happens that the critic community don't agree with.
Yeah.
They attack the players instead of letting a few episodes go for that moment to evolve. It's kind of like you're watching a show, and it's a 60-minute show, and by the 40-minute mark, there's a drama.
Yeah.
That someone could die. Yeah. And you guys make a big deal about it. You say the show's crap, but you don't let the resolution happen before having the reaction. You don't let the last 20 minutes of the show to happen.
I think people get their own frustrations projected onto the characters when they see something like this happen. And they can't really understand that the fact that the players in these moments are probably not feeling the things that they're portraying because they know each other and trust each other and love each other very, very much. Yeah. Being friends for a long amount of time. So they can have these encounters where the characters might seem like they're really upset with each other. But the reality is that they're not actually.
They need the conflict.
Yeah.
And they need these moments to happen. And I think that's one of the problems of having such a public game like they do. Is the fact that every moment is so kind of criticized and watched that you can't... They kind of have to resolve something within an episode, because if they leave it too long, people get all uppity about it. And instead of just waiting for the next episode and waiting for what's the resolution, they kind of have to resolve it right then and there. And I'm finding that more and more with these episodes, is that they're becoming the end of it is not becoming is not much of a cliffhanger anymore. It's kind of just
they have to resolve it.
They have to resolve it by the end of the episode. But this time it was cliffhanger, but it's not saying that can be resolved next episode because of the situation.
But yeah, I think people need to kind of
calm the hell down, people.
See the lines of entertainment and fiction.
Yeah.
Although I can also see people were like kind of standing up for Liam in a way. But
I love Liam. Liam's my favourite player, as a favourite person.
But the weird thing is that they were doing it in quite like hateful way towards Keyleth or towards Marisha.
Yeah,
and that's not the way to resolve a conflict when you feel.
I think people tied it too far into the character and the story, and they made it too much about like they didn't let it like give it. They didn't give it air to breathe. They reacted to it was ugly. Yeah. Look at Twitter during that time. Even look at Reddit around that time. It was very, very ugly.
But hey, think about the fact that Dungeons and Dragons as an art form is able to make people feel this passionately about character moments.
And then two idiots from New Zealand are talking about it.
We made a whole podcast about it.
We made a whole show about it.
A whole channel, basically.
Yeah. So the last paragraph it goes. Also, most of the group stayed out of the argument with Bo and Jester being on one side and Caleb on the other, but Molly actually agreed with Caleb, even if he said he could have communicated better. So the party was split on it, and I think that was the reaction. I mean, to be honest, Caleb had good points.
Yeah.
Shouldn't trust a random person that said, "Give me a big bowl that can talk to a god."
And Bo had a good point of, look, we make decisions as a group.
Yeah.
But they both handled it.
Exactly. So Caleb was making the decision for the group.
Yep. And Marisha should not have outed him in front of the group and should not have physically.
No, when we say Marisha, we mean Bo.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure that clear it's the characters doing actual
because we know the players.
We just kind of mix it up sometimes because we just talk about it.
It's like my boss always at work when I'm like, oh, I accidentally did this to a player. She's like, you mean a character? Like,
yeah, exactly. we want to make sure that's clear. Now, those are all our long comments.
Yes.
Not every single one of them, just the ones we picked. Because that's all we picked.
It was time crunched and Julie was home, so I was distracted by
boobs.
Yeah.
Sexist pig.
I'm like the most respectful person to a woman in the world.
You literally just said you got distracted by boobs.
Because I love her.
I'm sorry.
She's actually already watching Community. She introduced me to Community.
Community's great.
I know.
It took her to introduce you to Community. I keep on telling you to watch Community. We literally did an episode where we said, I made you watch an episode of Community and you still didn't watch it.
Gross and boob.
Listen.
Anyway, I'm now going to the...
Wow, really? You went down the sexist route right after I tried to get you out of it?
I thought that'd be funny. So now we're going to go on to a couple of theories that we've had put to us by people that follow our channel over the last couple of weeks. And we've split them into three sections. Disproven, wild theories, and current theories. We'll start with disproven.
Wait, say that again?
Disproven, wild theories, and current theories.
Cool, I just want to make sure because I'm just making sure.
Thank you.
Keep going.
So the first theory is one of the ones that is kind of disproven. Not entirely, but I think we can agree. Crisis Mind 666 5 days ago. I don't think Matt is going to kill Kerry. ... yet. He's going to let the party get even more attached to her first. Smiley face. So, also you've got the T on the word first. So I'm thinking, hey.
Because you kept on saying that Kerry is just some, like,
gonna
die or something like gonna stab them or something like that.
I honestly thought Matt was devious enough to do that, but it seems like
why would Matt make a killer bird child? Then Matt's a nice person. I can't imagine him going that dark.
I just thought it would be
name one really, really dark thing that's on that level that Matt's done.
Oh god.
I mean, his wife has killed a child, but he didn't set that up. His wife did that in the game. Exactly, Ollie. Exactly. We're going to be sitting there forever. So that was disproven. Mainly because Kerry didn't die and moved on to a known family. Yeah,
it looks like now it would be kind of too late to bring in the Kerry's dead.
Now, I do think something bad might happen, and that will force the Mighty Nine to meet Kerry again.
Yeah.
Possibly, maybe they got captured again.
Maybe she fell with the wrong crowd.
You're going with the wrong crowd, but I mean, that will be a few years. She's pretty much 3 years old.
Next section, wild theories. So
that's all the disproven theories right now. We didn't have a lot of them.
Yeah. But if you want to throw something in.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was kind of hoping for. So if you do want to, because we want to do more of these podcasts, so this is a good time to say it. So if you want to do another Critical Role podcast, you like what we're doing here, leave a comment in this on this video or email us. Or even leave a comment on NPC ones that's very long and we'll bring it up again.
So next comment section, theory section, is wild theories. So the first one is from Des Talks About Stuff.
Explain what wild theories is.
So wild theories are ones that are a bit out there, a bit of a curveball theory, take a little bit of a leap of faith.
Think about it's like crazy Reddit theories mixed with fan
So it's basically
theories.
it's like multiverses Reddit theories.
Yeah, it's the crazy multiverse theories.
So first one is from Des Talks About Stuff, who is
like
a
Des.
great YouTuber. We love Des. She is the one who drew the pictures of us as cupcakes, which I currently have as my profile picture.
Yeah, you do. Yeah,
It's
I mean,
amazing.
a lot of people said join our Discord to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Des actually was inspired by what we were doing to make our own show about high rollers, which ties into Critical Role because one of the guys played from that game.
She's actually one of my favourite people that follow our channel, and I always look forward to seeing her comments because she's a real cool person.
And strikes Ollie's ego, and he likes that.
Yeah, exactly. Tell me I'm awesome, and I'll be your friend forever. Des Talks About Stuff. That's literally how this whole thing works. I have sort of a joke theory that I don't actually believe, but I think the Traveller might actually just be Matt Mercer inserting himself into the show. Well, it's interesting. As a DM, you do kind of have characters that portray parts of you because you know that makes it fun for you. So I can kind of see where you're coming from there.
I mean, Matt inserts himself enough that I don't think the Traveller represents who he is.
Yeah,
I think the Traveller. Who knows who the Traveller is? Like,
it's a big enigma.
God, the Traveller's just all over the show. I mean, what is the Traveller? I mean, what do we know? Nothing.
Not much.
We barely know anything.
He took a bite of an apple.
Yeah. I mean, Jester hasn't really gone into much detail other than the fact that
she loves him.
Loves him.
Yeah.
But there's no explanation of why. We don't like. It feels like maybe the Traveller was the only one that reached out to her when she was kind of locked away and hidden away when she was being raised.
Yeah.
That seems like the only angle. But to be honest, the Traveller just seems like. It could be just anyone speaking to her, but I mean, a good sign of the fact that the Traveller is actually a more widely known god than we first believed was when the mirrors found the symbols. Yeah. So, but we need more of the Traveller. It feels like we know so little.
Because there's a lot of people that have been like, the Traveller is clearly just in her head, or the Traveller is maybe an evil deity trying to trick the nice ones into following and then reveal his dark purpose later on. And we kind of even had some theories that there was no Traveller until the apple got bitten. That kind of was a convincer for some people. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of like mysteriousness.
Yeah. But yeah, that is a wild theory. But I think it's just the Traveller's one thing that really grinds me about the game right now. It's the fact that if Kit's bringing it up, give us something. Yeah. It's reached that point where
it's like when we were like irking to know more about Bo's backstory for a couple of episodes of NPCs, but then we finally got some big drops, so maybe we'll get some.
And I think we need more Jester. I think Jester's backstory, we know enough about where she's come from, but we don't really know what made her who she is now.
I was still like quite surprised that I was way off about her mother not being around and sending her stuff.
Yeah, I'm really annoyed that Keyleth wasn't a werewolf.
Yeah.
I was really gutted by that.
We had some great theories.
We had some great early days theories.
The last couple of months, yeah. Alright, do you want to read the next wild theory?
Yeah, Crisis Mind 666.
Or Satan, our Dark Lord.
No. Anyway, he says, interesting fact about the weapons on Humperduke. Humperduke. He's a Humperduke, not Hupper.
There's no M in there, my friend.
Yeah, Humperduke. That's like the porn parody of Critical Role right there.
Yeah. The Mighty 9 Inches.
Yeah. The Mighty 9 Inches.
I just came up with that.
That's got to be the greatest porn parody of Critical Role ever.
How did I just come up with it?
The Mighty 9 Inches. Anyway, God, I got something. Anyway, Humperduke. Is that Matt was confirmed... Oh, sorry, I'll read the whole thing again. Yeah. Might as well. An interesting fact about the weapons on Humperduke, probably means at Humperduke, is that Matt confirmed that were a direct consequence of Ripley stealing Percival's designs... Percival, sorry. Perceivable. Percy's designs.
This is what I was talking about in the last NPC.
Yeah. I wonder if he's going to do something about it. Also, he gave me a wild idea. What if there are members of Vox Machina and Wildmont in the present? I know it's a stretch, but I think it will be cool. Now, this is not exactly a wild theory. It's actually a true theory.
Tons of people so far.
Oh, it's a trope. Terry Darrington went back to Wildmont. Yeah. So technically...
Yeah. But throughout the course, even since episode 1, even before episode 1, when we got told there was a new campaign, people have been theorising about Vox Machina appearing or descendants of Vox Machina being big NPCs.
I don't know. I think they do make a point, especially how Critical Role's moved to their own YouTube channel, and there seems to be doing a lot of push of still having Vox Machina stuff. around.
Yeah.
It feels like we are going to get those nuggets there. So we have to remember, it's only 20 years later.
Yeah.
Vex is still probably going to be alive. Percy's going to be alive.
Yeah.
Pike,
Gnomish.
How long do Goliath live for?
I would think it would be the same as humans.
So yeah, they'll probably all be alive still.
But see, the thing is, yeah, I think you're right. I think we get the little nuggets, not as like, hey guys, remember what was really popular in Vox Machina? Ding! But more like, here's a little nod to people that have been following for the last couple of years.
Yeah, and the Ripley one was a big one.
Yeah.
And that was more of a subtle one than one that was set in game. That was something that was confirmed outside of the game. Because Matt confirmed it on Talks, I believe.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see that. I wonder what Hapatuk was like before that happened. I mean, was Hapatuk this kind of gnomish, kind of weapon-esque place?
Well, I mean, gnomes generally known for their tinkering abilities, but I feel like it's the Empire that's pushing them to make war machines, because it's not really in a gnomish nature to create things of war or destruction.
Yeah, it's true. I would love to see Vox Machina in.
Yeah. Did you see the Vox Machina miniatures that are being released?
Yeah. We can't afford it.
We cannot.
Because I worked it out, it's about $86 New Zealand.
So I could do it. It would just take me 8 weeks.
And plus, they're not delivered until March 2019.
Yeah.
So if we put $1 down, we can reserve them, and then we can chip in when it comes closer to the date.
Let's do that.
I'm going to do that.
Okay.
We're going to do that as a YouTube channel. We'll do that. I'll do that.
We
next
could just
week.
use our Patreon to pay for that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the last wild theory that we have, which. Your definition of wild theory is a lot different than my definition of wild theory. It's kind of like it feels like more of a theory.
Well, I think it was more that he thought it was a wild theory, because he's like, I thought it was a stretch.
Here's a wild theory. I think I'm awesome.
That
doesn't make it a wild theory.
That's just true.
Exactly. Some things are just true.
That's why I put it there. So now, last section, current theories. First one is from our favourite lantern or electric eel, Mr. ElectricFish.
We should say current theories basically means that right now we don't know either way. Yeah. They could be disproven. They could be completely false. They could be completely true. These are just the ones that we believe had some credit to it.
So this is like back in the day, Caleb Watch, what that was, and my theory.
Caleb is a werewolf. I'm going back to it. Yeah. Caleb is a werewolf.
Even though inexplicably we should know by now, you just still reckon it's just...
It'd be funny, like, just that... then he goes, oh, by the way, I'm a werewolf.
Right at the end. Yeah. Post-credit, like, Marvel, 3-second, like...
And you just hear, like, you hear in the background, I knew it! It's just me in the background.
Yeah.
Called it.
From New Zealand, your voice carries to the recording.
No, I just phone up Matt. Phone up Liam. I knew it!
There you go. Talks like that was fucking weird.
No, I'll ring up Brian from Talks Machina.
Yeah.
Like when he's on Talks Machina. Like, I knew it! And it's like, who the hell is this guy?
I don't know, he's been calling every 5 seconds.
Exactly.
Alright, current theories. Mr. ElectricFish Kid 1 week ago. Alright, about Not. Do you guys think she really likes Caleb, or is she just using him so he can transform or transmutate her into a half?
What's with everyone's thing of not changing Not into a goblin anymore?
Yeah.
You did this on NPCs. A lot of other people do. I don't understand it.
Well, it's because Caleb...
It's being goblin so shamed upon.
Well, it's racism. Like, no.
Well, yeah, I know it's racism, so you guys should just accept that Not's a goblin. You guys are all racist. You guys are the racist here.
We just wanted her to be happy, man.
You can't just accept Not in their own skin.
So basically, ever since, I think like 3.5, goblins and gnomes have had bad blood. Like, gnomes used to get bonuses against goblins because of the racial bias. They hated them so much that they actually wanted to kill them so much. They got bonuses when they attacked them.
Yeah,
they got bonuses over and over and over.
Yeah, we shouldn't be encouraging getting horny during killing.
No, probably not. That probably sets a bad precedent of sexuality. Anyway,
imagine someone killed themselves for that. It's like, I just want to know if I got a boner or not. Did you? No. Was it worth it? No. It's like, yeah, you don't really deserve to reproduce ever, so go in prison. I don't know why they went down that path.
It took us like 50 minutes to get that weird. I'm counting that as a win. Usually it's the first 10 minutes of these podcasts.
Exactly.
Anyway, so no, I don't. This is definitely a current theory. Not in a roguish kind of way, I guess. True to a class using Caleb just to get the spell of being halfling, then we'll bugger off or kill him and steal his gold. I don't know.
It doesn't feel that.
I can't see it happening.
I think if that is not ultimate goal, means everything we know about Not is false.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel like that's a huge deception.
And I don't think like a 6 to 9 year old would be capable of such a deception.
But then again, if they're decepting about that, they would be deceptive about their age too.
That's true. That's true.
And because it's quite hard. I guess it's quite hard to tell how old a goblin is.
It's kind of like it's quite a dark and distrustful theory. Kind of sinister almost to think of Not as using, because Caleb clearly loves Not and wants to protect her at all costs.
Yeah, it'd be. I don't know. I just don't want Not to change into a different race just because the goblin.
They feel. Because it's not that Not isn't comfortable being a goblin, it's that Not is uncomfortable being a goblin in the world as it is.
But you shouldn't change who you are just because you look down upon the world.
No, exactly. You embrace that.
You embrace it, you use it, and you try and show people why they're wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's a good metaphor for life, really. But it just, I don't know. I don't feel comfortable with everyone saying, that's not ultimate desire. I think Not will evolve into a stronger person and I think Not's intention is going to be being proud of being a goblin.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be what it's going to result in, but I've never heard Not say anything like, I wish I was not a goblin.
I think it's more
I think she's ashamed of being a goblin.
Yeah.
But I don't think ultimately she's like, I would choose to be a different race.
I think she just wants shiny things.
Yeah, basically.
Would you like to read out the next character?
It's only because you can't read the last name.
That's true.
Josh, who's one of our Patreons, so thank you, Josh.
I just sang a song about you in the last
Yeah,
NPCs.
that's why my voice hurts, because I was speaking over... Josh Kugiski.
Wrote that song just for you, man.
Yeah, thanks. He says, a triangle between Liam, Marisha, and Ashley characters is the route I see this taking. To be honest, I don't see... Ashley's not responding to the flirting of Bo.
She didn't in Vox Machina with Scalan either, really, until the end.
True.
Yeah.
But this latest episode didn't. I think it feels like that's something the fans want.
Yeah.
I think that's something that Bo wants.
Yeah.
I don't think that's something that Yasha wants.
Again, I see Yasha as being a strong, independent woman who don't need no man.
Well, yeah, you can still love though. I mean,
Love and be loved.
You don't have to be a weak woman to have love. God, Ollie. Stop putting women in a box. Jeez.
I don't. I cut them up
You
and
can
put
be
them
strong.
in several
You're a
boxes.
strong, independent woman and still
Who don't need no man.
love.
I just like that phrase.
You know, man. You don't need no man to survive, but it's nice to have one. Just the same as it's nice to have a strong, independent woman. I'm attracted to a strong, independent woman. You know this.
I just like that you were just talking about.
I got way too deep in. I'm really uncomfortable with this moment right now.
Because you said something about how sometimes you just need a strong man, and I was like, that's lovely that you can admit that nowadays.
It's like you secretly, for some reason, you got this thing that you secretly think I'm suppressing
desires.
my sexual desires for men, but I'm okay with my sexuality. And I know for a fact, do not like penis. Just throwing it out there. No. I saw a penis.
I saw
you looked in the fucking mirror when you went to the shower, didn't you? Again,
I was at a play recently, and the guy was doing improv in the play. So when he filled out the form to say, "Is there going to be nudity in this?" he kind of ticked it because he didn't know, because like half the show was improv.
Okay.
But then they started putting "Be warned, there is nudity" on all the posters, so he felt like he had to get naked. So at the end of the play, he just strips off and does a little soliloquy with his dick, like just right on the show.
So that's just unnecessary nudity.
But it was kind of funny. It was funny.
But I mean, it's kind of like.
But he kind of put himself in that situation just by ticking that box by mistake.
That's just unnecessary. just only get naked when you need to.
If you guys are wondering about what kind of entertainment I go to see here in Wellington, it's that kind of entertainment.
Yeah, and you wonder why we don't hang out outside of these things.
Anyway, we got one more to go.
So whenever we get too real, we change the topic.
Well, I'm just amazed it's taken us almost the entire podcast to get to penises. Generally, that goes.
I mean, that generally is within the first 5 minutes.
At least. Yeah. The last character is from Callista. Callista, thank you for your awesome comments over the last couple of weeks. I really enjoyed reading them. You have some quite interesting insights. I think the 9 are going to let Kiri go with the gnome family if they can break the parents out, especially if she bonds with the other kids while they're gone. I would just like to say, confirmed this episode. Yes, that's exactly what happened.
But you put it under the current theory section.
I was supposed to put a little thing that had another header.
But you didn't.
No.
That was the main thing I was getting at right there, Ollie.
I would like to admit that I was wrong, and I'm a strong enough person to be able to admit that.
You weren't even going to put them to section, so I told you.
Yeah, that's true. But I had the 3 sections before I started looking for the comments because I copied them from your comment.
But yeah, that was confirmed. That was only confirmed in the last episode.
So you totally called it, Callista. Absolutely nailed it.
I think that was a common though. I mean, because we all knew they had to get rid of Kerry.
Yeah.
And
it was either
we already missed that opportunity of going with who was it? Dolan, yeah. And Kerry Kerry going with a known family seems to make sense. I don't like it because effectively they gave Kerry to a family of convicted felons who have already been caught once before. And I mean, what's stopping them from? They don't know the Mighty Nine don't know them well enough to know that easily they're going to get captured again.
Yeah, no, you're right. They're putting her in a little bit of danger, but less danger than she would have been had she stayed with Mighty Nine.
Really?
Well, squishy 6 hit points.
Mighty Nine would have protected the F out of I don't know how to say F, that says fuck.
Yeah, fuck.
They would have protected the fuck out of Kerry.
Yeah.
There was no chance of Kerry actually dying unless they're stupid about it. It's like, hey Kerry, why don't you jump on the alligator?
Or, hey, let's be a goldfish, we're basically gods.
Yeah, but yeah, that was awkward. But I'm gonna miss Kerry.
Yeah,
I think Matt's gonna miss Kerry.
Well, my favourite things about Kerry were the fact that she was innocent and hilarious, almost in a Sam Riegelish way. But my main favourite thing about Kerry was Matt doing impersonations of the rest of the cast. Yeah, because he could nail that stuff.
He nailed like Ford and Bo. Just this episode.
I can do a little bit of Pumat, but I can't do anyone else.
Yeah, you do a good Pumat.
Yeah,
I can't do impressions. I can barely do myself.
Your own.
I can barely function as an adult.
Dave.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and there we go. That's our
thing.
First Critical Role focused podcast that we've ever done.
I don't know why you went upstairs to put on your Critical Role t-shirt because no one can see it. It's a podcast.
What are you on about? I didn't put it on. I literally was wearing this during the filming. I put on the hoodie because it's cold.
I thought you changed at some point.
I literally got the footage. I could show you.
No, I believe you.
Videos.
I believe you. I thought you'd changed. I thought you were wearing a blue shirt before.
Blue shirt? I don't have a critical.
I might be having a
I wear 2 shirts for Critical Role reviews. One's red and the other one's grey.
I thought you had the Gilmore shirt as well.
That's grey.
I thought it was purple.
It's pink and grey. God, Ollie.
It's late.
You know how many episodes we've done?
9.
We've done about 50 NPCs episodes. And I wear the same 2 shirts. And I've recently have ordered a new one.
Ooh, exciting.
I know. I'm not telling you now because you'll probably forget anyway. It doesn't really
true,
matter. It doesn't really matter if I tell you. It's you're
Dave,
not even going to notice.
You could honestly tell me that, hey, in 20 minutes, a meteor is going to come and destroy the Earth. And I would be devastated for the next 3 seconds, and then I would forget.
But still accuse me of being wrong when remembering
Why would you
something.
tell me, Dave, as the thing crashes down upon us all?
It's
the last moment Dave facepalmed.
It's like the most frustrating common thing that we do is that we make plans.
Yeah.
And then we say we're going to film X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
And then on another day, we're going to film 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And then you come back to me and it's like, oh, we're filming 1, 2, and B. I'm like, no. We're filming A, B, and C. And you're just like, I thought we're doing that tomorrow. I'm like, no.
Julia has been helping me out with this because this is a serious problem that I have.
I know. I live with you. I know it's a serious problem.
I'm going to start doing this where I have pen and paper at my desk and I'm going to start writing this down and putting it on my wall. Going for it.
How about, buying 3 notebooks and giving them to you and asking you to use them and instead find them they're completely empty and you never actually use them?
They have doodles about...
Now they do, but at the time...
They have pictures of cocks that I have drawn of various sizes and smells. It has schematics of the bank vault.
See, you can't function as a single adult. No.
I have for many years, but I don't.
I don't think you function.
Hey, I'm now officially a playwright.
You became officially a playwright after you got into a relationship, Ollie.
But I wrote that. Oh shit! I did write that after I met her.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks for joining us.
This is a weekly podcast of I trap Ollie in his own logic.
It's not that hard to do.
Apparently so. I'm going to call it there. And I know me and Ollie decided to do some filming after this. I really don't have the energy for it.
We'll find another day.
We'll do another day.
Busy as shit.
We're always busy. So the content that we do release, it's hard for us to release it. This podcast is just a cruisy way of just deventing for a while.
And it's also, I consider this, even though it's the longest thing we do, I consider it to be the easiest, because I don't have to pre-plan and we can just talk shit.
And that's the point.
Yeah.
The point of After Hours is for us to gas bag about things we enjoy.
Because this is honestly just what we like.
Yeah, basically just kill it, like laughing at each other and poking fun of each other. And then next week not actually remembering anything and just getting our frustrations out. Yeah. But thanks again, our three Patreons. What was it? Josh, you got the list.
Slide
You left it over here.
So like a couple of weeks ago, Dave comes to me and says, I've set up a Patreon. And I was like, well, that's a great idea, Dave, but no one's going to pay.
No, you said, what's a Patreon? Okay, fine. You didn't even know what it was.
At first I said, what's a Patreon? Then he explained it to me.
Yeah.
And then I said, Dave, no one's going to pay for us. We're two nerds in a living room with a camera.
But thank you so much. The following people.
Billy F. Stevens, Slideria, and Josh Crutch.
Thanks, Josh. We can't really pronounce your last name, but thank you so much.
I feel like he just
still, because this is a rather new thing, we're still kind of working out how we're going to thank you guys on a regular basis, and we're really hoping that list grows so we can actually start putting more money into the podcast. We want to get definitely the podcast a lot better with our own individual mics and so forth. Yeah. And also the live stream and getting content better, and you guys are really pushing us every week.
What really bugs me is that the test run we did with the tech, it worked perfectly. And then when we actually went to do it on
the live stream... You're talking about the live stream?
Yeah.
Just in case anyone was curious, the fact that you just jumped into that.
Because it all worked on the test, and then we actually tried to do it for real.
What annoys me... Yeah. Is you go, it worked on the test, and then go, oh yeah, the camera's not compatible. A camera doesn't suddenly not become compatible.
Well, I don't know.
And then you go, you know who may be able to fix this? Dave, because he's got a camera at home he's not using, but you never asked me to use the camera.
I forgot that you had one.
I know you do.
But Thomas is going to grab us a free one.
Well, you just grab that one I'm not using.
Well, I can do that. I can't do another test run.
I was going to give it to you today.
Okay.
Yeah. That
works. We'll try it. As long as it's USB 3 and not USB 2, then it should work.
But if you do want to donate to the Patreon, links are down below. Just look at the D20 Multiverse on Patreon. You can also donate to us if you just want to make a lump sum to us. But to be honest, just listening to this podcast is more than enough. Yeah.
And we're not like saying at the end of these things, oh, here's ways you can pay us, because we A, expect you to pay us, or B, think that you have to in any way.
Even though it comes off...
Sometimes it makes us look like corporate shills, and we're just like, pay us for it.
But
shit. But it's more just
I'm excited for it because there's so much stuff we want to do.
Yeah.
I would love to have our own individual mics when we're doing this podcast, so you're not getting that echoing kind of feel on it. I would love to put more money into making sure we're getting this on iTunes on time, and putting into editing software and everything that we're running, even right now, because this microphone is not actually our microphone. It's like a 2-bit operation that we're just trying to stretch out as long as possible until we can make it bigger. So thank you so much.
We love you.
And if you like that Critical Role one, let us know, and we'll in a few weeks may do another one.
Or if you have any suggestions on things we can do on this podcast, then let us know.
And Jason's not here because I'm mad at him.
He's probably mad at me, but I have to be here.
So guys, thanks everyone. See ya. Say bye.
Bye, later, bye. Sorry, I thought I did, but then I realised I didn't.